Welcome to another video. I'm Andrew, out doing more railway photography. Now this morning I'm at Dewsbury between Leeds and Huddersfield, and I want to photograph around the town centre of Dewsbury, capturing the railway amongst all the Victorian and Edwardian architecture. And the reason being that the TransPennine Upgrade is coming along very shortly, and I think the scene is going to change with electrification masts, so it's an ideal opportunity to capture the railway around Dewsbury without electrification masts. Now this first spot is a fantastic spot looking down towards Dewsbury town centre, the Emily Moore mast on the hills behind. It makes a lovely view, does this, with a sweeping curve onto Dewsbury viaduct and then into the station. Z10 have an upcoming railway photography trip to Dewsbury, and I want to use this video to highlight some of the railway photography delights around Dewsbury and its town centre. Have a look at the Z10 website. There's even a profile piece on me. This is a cracking off the beaten track location just to the west of Dewsbury station. There's obviously some old rundown buildings here, but it makes a cracking foreground for the trains going across the bridge there. Now I'm walking into the centre of Dewsbury, and I'm trying to get some shots on the east side of the line because this really harsh sunlight is quite challenging with all the shadows and what have you. But there's a lack of trains at the moment, and I've just looked, and there's a signalling failure, so there's not very many trains running at the moment, which isn't good. So a minor detour is this. I've come to Ravensthorpe because of the lack of trains through Dewsbury at the moment, and there's a HST on a special, so it's a minor detour from Dewsbury. Well, it looks like whatever the fault was on the line has been rectified, but I'm just going to stay at Ravensthorpe for a couple of minutes. There's a TransPennine through and a freight, so I'll see if I can get a shot of those, and then back to Dewsbury. Now, I was going to go to Dewsbury just now, but I've just spoke to a chap asking if anything else is coming along, and he says there's the whole Carlisle coming on the line from Ely Mills, going that way towards Murfield. I'm hoping there's a glimpse shot of the trains going over this bridge here. There's a bit of rubbish that adds to the variety. A bit of a back alley under the railway with Cracken Edge tunnel portal, the old tunnel there, and there's a bit of rubbish and it might make a shot. There's a couple of trains coming, so it just might make a shot there. Now, with the diversion off to Ravensthorpe, it's delayed me. I want it to be, hello, I want it to be in Dewsbury a little bit earlier than this. I fancy a shot with this phone box, old buildings and the viaducts just behind there. Now I want to try a wider shot looking up Halifax Road, still with the phone box in the composition, but there's some mills going up Halifax Road that I'd like to get in. But this light is getting challenging. One minute it's bright sunshine, the next minute it's clouds, which I don't mind. I could do with some clouds actually, because I need to move both sides of the line, and at the other side at the moment with the sunshine it's too backlit and it's not great. It looks like there's a reflection in this window here of the mill buildings, and there is a TransPennine just in Dewsbury station at the moment. That statue up on the top of that building, that's an Anthony Gormley piece, is that? I'm hoping there's still some views down onto the viaduct. There used to be great views, but the trees have taken over, and I'm hoping somewhere between the trees there's a view down onto Dewsbury and its viaduct. There is a shot, not as good as it used to be, but there's still a shot. The railway line through Dewsbury actually runs pretty much north-south, and I've done the eastern side of the line, and I'm now going to cross over and do the western side of the line. Earlier on the light in the cutting towards Leeds was so harsh, so I'm hoping it's a little bit softer. It is. There's more of a chance of a shot now. The shot that I thought was from here is not there anymore. Earlier in the year, all the trees had been chopped down and it was completely clear, was the line side, giving a great view from the bridge towards the tunnel, and all that was clear, and there was a great shot going back towards Wood Lane Bridge. But some of the trees have grown like mad and the shot's gone, so on to another location. I've always been fascinated with this building here, some fabulous Victorian architecture next to the railway line. There is a really tight shot down the side of Spinkwell Mill and the viaduct, but it involves going in there. Is it worth it? I don't know. I thought this street made a nice view, looking down towards the viaduct and Dewsbury Town Hall with these industrial buildings either side. Makes a nice view, I think. Right, there we are, back at Wood Lane Bridge, and I'm going to need a sit down. Right, that was a trip around Dewsbury before the masts go up. Right, I think that's it. I've had enough now and I'm going home. So until the next one, I shall see you on the next video, and thank you very much for watching. See you later. Bye bye.